Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is your Elliott Wave update for compound. Now just going off the daily count here, we had an A wave, B wave, and a C wave for a B wave at all-time highs. I believe we started in the middle of a correction. And then we had 5 waves down for our C wave as a expanded flat. Nice separation, triangle in the 4th wave, short E wave, quick stop hunt to the downside, and we recovered very quickly in an impulse. We are now correcting in previous resistance. Everything looks good here, but just to keep in mind this target, if this is a 1-2-1-2, our 3rd wave target is up around $290 on log scale. Right coming into previous resistance here. We just have to get through this sell-off area at around 170. But going down on the lower time frames, if you watch my last video, we were looking at this as a running flat. I've seen this pattern over and over in different altcoins here before it takes off. So trying to take advantage of that. You can see the nice 5-wave pattern here. We had an expanded flat. This just ticked through the 618 retracement, as you can see. And it looks like we had a leading diagonal off the low and currently making a running flat. We had 3, 3, 3, and we're getting a running flat potentially. If you look at other cryptos, you'll see this pattern over and over. The important thing is we do not come back below this correction here. Price around $47. We must hold that level. If this is a running flat, we can't come back below this A wave. I'm going to mark that off. And that price target, according to Coinbase, is 46.63. You'd have to see your own exchange for that. So that's where my stop will be in this trade setup. I'm going to take a long. But I've seen this on so many altcoins where we get the A, B, C as a running flat. Our invalidation of that was at 68.80. If we went above the 1.618 extension of this A wave here, it would have been invalidated, but we hit it perfectly. And looking for buy area, I pulled the wave A off the top of the B, looking between the 618 and the 1-to-1 extension for a pivot. It's right hit there between 58.99 and 53.82, and looking for that 3rd of the 3rd to start. Now before I get into my trade setup, there is this alternative that I'll show you here. The shape is a little off of it. Let me get rid of this so you can see it better. But the shape is a little off, but it can absolutely be in play. And that's where this is some sort of WXY and we get a correction to the downside, or this ends up being a diagonal in itself, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this actually corrects much more than expected back to the downside. So if this fails, I would relabel this as a leading diagonal, and I'd look for a trade setup after stop at. I'd look for a setup after stop at this low, and just expected that the leading diagonal got bigger. But until that proves itself wrong, I'm going with this setup because I've seen it in so many altcoins where we get a running flat as our wave 2, which is quite bullish if this is the proper count. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking a long pretty much right now. We have 3 waves in. We could get another move down, but I'm going to start buying right now. And my entry is going to be like this. Stop at this A wave at 46.63. And I'm going to be targeting that 3rd of the 3rd we mentioned out on the 4-hour. Yeah, it should show. up at the 1.618 extension here. So nice move if we do get it. About 18, 19 to 1. So we should get a pretty impulsive move any time, or we continue to grind sideways and this just becomes a larger correction. And if we fail, again, I would relabel and move the one wave over here. But I like the shape of this one better. It just seems cleaner. This looks like a 3-3-3. So that's my trade setup, guys. I'm going to do that right now, so it'll be included in the next video, but a nice little 19 to 1. And if this fails and we don't stay above this A wave, I would expect this to come down in an ABC, and I'd relabel this and move the 1 over to here. And my next entry after that would be a long as well, once this gets stopped out. All right, guys, so that's it for comp. If you watched my last video, it did exactly what we were expecting. I said, you can go check yourself. I said, as soon as this comes up, expect this move back to the downside. Just seemed very obvious to be running flat. And again, this pattern's repeating in a lot of altcoins before it takes off, a lot of false breakouts. So as a running flat, as an ABC or WXY. Guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see all my updates.